I kind of feel like when you're building a company, and I can speak from the vantage point of an online company in my direct experience, there's distinct stages that you go through. Like initial traction stage, you need to get product market fit and then have a great product that produces results. And then you begin to scale your team, you get the right kind of marketing channels that work. And now we're at this kind of like critical mass where we have like a good foothold in a market, a great product, a solid team. We need to like get a little infrastructure upgrade. And now we do kind of like info products, if you will. Like we deliver like online health and fitness programs, and we've built that through like a membership website, some direct one-on-one coaching, and we're moving to a new app platform called Mighty Networks. So we're kind of going mobile first now, and we're also making some changes to our supplement line, and it's giving us a chance to like revisit our core curriculum. So it's like I don't know, like it's almost like as the brand shapes up, there's new demands that kind of like come into it, infrastructure demands, team upgrades. So we're at this like really cool stage of being like a successful multi-7-figure online company, but like the next stage requires some tactical things. And what's fun about this now is like our team knows exactly what to do. It's just like getting to work and putting some like honestly pen to paper in some cases as regards to messaging and copy, web builds, looking at things. So it's like, it's a busy but clear time for me in the stage of the business.
That's awesome. And so you're speaking directly to both businesses or one of the two businesses, or tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project are the two companies. I kind of think of them as like two branches of like one broader holding company, which like logistically, that's how they're set up. Just because Fit Father started before, it's a company that has more traction. So the way we happen to go about it is we do a lot of the initial builds and like in testing in Fit Father. We have a larger environment, and then we kind of copy over to Fit Mother. But we're doing this upgrade kind of simultaneously with both companies. And although they offer and serve different markets, they are logistically very similar. And we share team members across the two companies in many cases. Like there's some dedicated people on Fit Mother side, dedicated on Fit Father, but like the same marketing engines and different things kind of serve both companies.
And it sounds like you're in a bit of a, I'll say repositioning right now, if that's fair
Yeah.
to say, like, changing some things. You said your offers, your messaging. That's expected. I'll just go ahead and say that. It's like you have an idea and then it evolves as
Yeah.
customers come in the door. But let's go back to the idea. Like, where did Fit Mother and Fit Father start? Like, what led to that? And, what did they look like then versus now?
Yeah. It's a great question. And I think like many people listening to this can probably relate. And I never like grew up thinking I was going to be an entrepreneur or a business owner per se. I mean, I was just like a kid. I love being outside, love having good friends, excelling in school. What was unique about my childhood experience is I had a dad that got very sick. Like I watched him basically bust his butt to provide for our family. And in the process, he lost his health. He got a cancer diagnosis and he died when he was just 42 years old. And I was 9 years old at the time. So that shaped my childhood in a massive way. Obviously, a lot of tragedy, a lot of pain, a lot of destabilizing. But to have that kind of experience at such a young age also gave me a lot of like firepower in my life. Firepower in the sense of like I got so shaken up that I dedicated my life to health and fitness, started studying that very early. I found purpose in getting myself healthier. And through the process that I gained competency at a very young age, began personal training, got into bodybuilding, eventually went to medical school. And what was interesting in medical school is I saw so many people like my dad, 40 plus, had trouble like managing health and fitness in relation to their whole rest of their busy life. Like it just got put on the back burner because they didn't know how to like have the proper nutrition routines that are integrated, how to exercise in an age appropriate way. So I started to kind of piece together all these different things into an online program. And then it comes down to like the logistics, right? Not just understanding health and medicine. It's like understanding direct marketing and like online marketing. Like how do you build a web page? How do you like write sales copy? How do you get your first couple sales, testimonials, like building a team? So in a way, mission driven kind of became an entrepreneur by accident and learned the skills over 10 years to be a CEO and also to be successful at digital marketing. And we've always been driven by like very much content and marketing first. Around 10 years ago, I had a very smart friend who's now kind of become like a name in our industry, Qasim Aslam. Is like so late anyways. He's like kind of like a digital marketing thought leader, but he's local here in Arizona where I'm from. And he's like, dude, there is nobody who is writing like long tail keyword articles for like weight loss for men over 40, weight loss for men over 50. Like people need this, like write those articles. So we did. And around 10 years ago. And so we got a lot of SEO juice and we built up to getting a lot of organic traffic from there. And I had people who were started to listen to, and we got our first footprint, I guess, in terms of awareness from SEO. And then over the course of just serving that audience for 10 years, like we built up a YouTube channel, big email list, learn all the ad platforms and all the struggles with that and the successes. So it all kind of became incremental. Now, when it comes to our program, at first, it starts off like you develop a meal plan as like a PDF. And then it gets better when you get feedback from customers on things that they need. And then it turns into like a more robust platform with like videos and membership sites. And it's an iterative process. And it kind of reminds me of like how you look around in civilization and we see all these old ancient temples, and you got the National Geographic thing that's like, this temple was built on Temple A that was built 1,000 years before. And it's like a layer of like hodgepodge. That is kind of like how our journey has been. The brand's kind of grown in those distinct layers. And it's largely driven by customer feedback. And now we have like a really great thing that has a lot of good aspects, but also a lot of fundamental weird stuff that we built back in the day that's no longer congruent. So it's a cool time to be able to have like critical mass and audience and kind of tear down and like build now on like a more mature framework.
I love that. Well, I'll start by saying I hate to hear for your loss as a child. I love that you've been able to transition that into a career path or just an opportunity to help other people and impact other families as well. Let's talk a little bit about the customer experience, just so listeners can understand a little bit more of what your business looks like. So you sell physical products, things like proteins and nutrition, right? You have groups as well, or opportunities for lifetime value. So when a customer comes in, generally what's the first offer? What's the first thing that they interact with?
Yeah, for sure. Good question. We're like a program and info product first company. Supplements and physical products that we don't market those as like for customer acquisition as much as we do for like, for the benefit of our customers, and I guess from a marketing standpoint for greater LTV and stuff like that. People come in typically with like this classic internet marketing, like email list build through free meal plans and free workouts, where people come in and get a flavor of like what we're all about and like how we serve. And we just give a ton of free, great value, as well as we use like longer term content marketing cycles via YouTube, blog, social, all those things to get people like aware and interested. And ultimately people make a buying decision to join like our front end programs, which at present are like one-time digital products. So like you join our 30-day program for Fit Father, or 30-day program for Fit Mother, is anywhere from $150, but sometimes we built the company off a lot of like good seasonal sales where you just get like a lot of people to join the initial. And then we have recurring programs on the back end that's like get our full curriculum, become a full subscriber. And so we have recurring on the back end. What we're doing right now is getting to the transitioning to make it all flat and a lot more modern, where we're only going subscription from like day one. We didn't do that initially, but now it's going to be like, hey, you want to play with Fit Father, Fit Mother, come monthly, come yearly, and then other offers related to subscription from the front end. But we built it as like a one-time offer, and then there's a subscription on the back end. And that was good for the stage in which we did it. We have an amazing our first phase program. It's called Fit Father 30X or Fit Mother 30X. And it's just like a 30-day intensive program that helps our avatar, dads or moms 40 plus, develop a robust nutrition system that works for them in their life, and they start to eat healthier, learn how to exercise and start to do some workouts that are age appropriate and super effective, get the mindset right. So they're like understanding how this fits into their whole life, connecting to deeper levels of motivation, and they're surrounded by a community of like-minded people. And we've had close between the two companies, around 100,000 people go through that program. So it's also now has a critical mass of like culture behind it, where it's not just like us saying things, people are in groups, and like we have customers that are so passionate. We literally have people with tattoos of our brand on their bodies. And like, I say that because it's a really meaningful thing for people who are struggling with health over 40 to like get that solved. It ends up being like a personal development journey. I mean, sometimes even a spiritual awakening to go through that. So we really focus a lot on this facilitated digital product experience. So yes, recorded videos, yes, the meal plan's a PDF, but we have like a large team around, like large for us, but like we have 20 people, and many of those people their job is strictly to like interface with customers and make sure that they feel from day one that they're like supported in this scalable digital format. But it's also on our thing, like human to human connection is massive, especially because weight loss, it's not a lack of information. It's like, it's how do you actually get someone to use your product, behavioral like sticking and all the behavioral psychology stuff. And we're pretty good at that. And we also know that just like guiding people through a process and having that good connection through both community and our team is essential.
Yeah. And that behavioral sticking that you're referring to, I imagine, is a huge part, because, lifetime value is a big part of your business. The goal is to get people in and to help them make that change. You're focusing on training them to implement something into their life that they've wanted to do for a long time, but have not been able to do. So if they can't have that meal routine and have that fitness routine, they can't stay in the program and they can't succeed on their goal that way. I'm a tech person, so my initial question is software and things like that. But like, what specific strategies or what specific things have you seen work to help train people into implementing something into their life for subscription?
Well, I think the cool thing is it is pretty software driven. So we'll kind of get into that. We build our programs with like just really good design. So for example, just to get straight up into how the 30-day program works, it's nestled in a membership site. So someone, once they buy, will get their login to their FitFather members area. And depending on what they have, they'll have access to certain things and not others. But let's say they just have the front end 30-day program. When they click into their training library and they have that, as well as they have access to the community, the Facebook group, coaching, all of that. We build setup steps. We built on a learning management system called LearnDash. It's an integration with WordPress, and it also integrates with Keep and Infusionsoft, which we've used as our CRM for a long time. And we design like program setup steps. So it's very clear on what people do. They have like 4 program setup steps. 1, write this mission statement, which goes through like a deep connected journaling thing. And that's before the meal plan. So we get people connected psychologically and emotionally to this. 2, they reveal the meal plan, and we've made it very clear about what the things they need to do. They need to pick their go-to foods, understand like what their meal timing is, and pick that. So it's like it's very formulaic how they walk through, and every setup step as they're going through, if they're not completing it, they're getting reminder emails like on drip campaigns. So it's like if you saw our back end of our email campaign that ties in with LearnDash with all these different touch points, it's like a really robust automated system that then people are also like helping guide people through. So very clear setup steps. And then once someone like has gone through and they've like written their mission statement, they know their meal plan, they've watched the workout videos and scheduled their first workout, and they pick their official start date. It's cool that we're in weight loss, and maybe other companies who are not in weight loss can maybe take this from the concept, but like people love to do things that are like, I'm doing a 30-day challenge or a thing. There's like a time aspect to it. So we give them a value piece in like an email and a lesson and a tip every day for 30 days. So as a company, we're able to like get really deep with somebody really fast, like help them implement behavior change, which is a combination of like automation stuff and tech that fits into reminders, as well as our team guiding them. And then we're with them, like walking them through. And this means we get to be in contact with them. So it feels like a very deep immersive experience. And in 30 days, it's like our front end product is both like a core offer in a sense, but it's also like kind of an indoctrination thing too. Because once people have gone through 30 days, they're not transformed. I mean, at good result, they've lost 10, 15 pounds and are feeling a lot better and are ready to like take next steps. But we also know too that in our space, it's not just about getting someone to buy or try it today. If someone buys but they don't like go through it, so there's a good chunk of people, maybe a third, that buy something and don't even necessarily do stuff with it. We're constantly at the end of every month looking to re-engage those people. Like we see them perpetually when they buy, coming into our FitFather and FitMother ecosystem is like, we're here not just to serve them whether or not they use it today, but continuously give them behavioral loops to come back on track. And even if people succeed and they go through all of our programs, a full 1-year transformation curriculum, we know that fitness is a constant iterative game, as you always or might be coming off track and back on track. So we're always re-inviting people to come back in through engagement loops, end of month challenges, program resets. And that's a mix of like automation campaigns through Infusionsoft, Keep, and all that. We're going, like our transition that we're making is like, we use Facebook groups is like, and it's worked well for us, and there's benefits and there's costs to that. We're moving to a new app platform called Mighty Networks now, which is, it's very robust. It's a great platform, and it's definitely community driven chat. And it's kind of going to get all the chat, the push notifications, the learning management system all into one hub. And I think that's going to be important for us in our growth to be like FitFather's like just here in the palm of my hand. And I get all these different aspects and more integration of the ecosystem. Yeah. So I think that's a kind of long answer to your question.
No, I love that. And a little bit deeper on that question too is, when you're doing this challenge, or when people are going through this challenge, they have measurables that they can measure success against, stepping on the scale, right? Inches. Are they losing inches or are they losing pounds? There are businesses sometimes that have products that don't have measurables, right? I was talking with a CBD company recently, and, one thing that they were talking about is if you diminish anxiety or something like that, like you can feel it, but you kind of don't feel the anxiety anymore, so you forget, right? Yeah. This question may not apply, but I'm just curious because it sounds like, the program has a lot of experience with this. Are there any non-measurables that you're helping clients win with as well and acknowledge, or do you feel like it's mainly the weight loss, the inches, the things that can cross off a list?
It's both. Okay, so great, wonderful question. And I think this is where we kind of get into the discussion of program culture. And if you create a program that's kind of next level, has culture baked into it, we have everyone in terms of the measurables. Like we request that people weigh themselves every single day to get like data check-ins and to get feedback on like what's happening with their body. Not that they lose weight every day, but that We have people take starting program pictures. Some people do blood work. Many people like weight is the basics, but other people may do measurements. And then we have this whole other side where it's kind of like baked into our culture. And I think customers actually started calling it this many years ago, but they call them NSVs, non-scale victories. And these are like the non-data driven, like, man, like I saw a family member for some time and they saw, I think I look amazing, or I was able to walk up the stairs without being winded, or I put another notch in my belt. I least a little data, but like stuff like this. And I just feel fantastic. I don't get tired and slump. So our community now has like this baked in culture about NSVs and in terminology. And what I'm trying to say is like a lot of movements and things that we know have a certain amount of terminology, and that kind of helps create shared culture. And so we do actually label those non-measurable successes as non-scale victories. And our veterans now are looking for those all the time. We train them to look for those and talk about those. And that ends up passing that culture to the newbies. So anytime you can get someone to become more aware and have different measuring sticks on their success, data and non-data, like that awareness as it's tied to your product and community is connection. Because awareness is ultimately like where all of our experience is in the field of this. And if we can be more aware and our product becomes a vehicle for people to become more aware, like that's deep. You're connecting with someone on a deep level.
That's interesting. So, and my mind's just kind of flipping a switch right now, which is why I love recording this podcast. So what I interpreted is everybody can measure inches, everybody can measure weight loss, but there's also things with the non-measurables that you can actually tie into people's core emotional or rational drivers to be doing business with you, and have them create their own measuring system to monitor that as well. It takes good organization to make sure you stay on top of them staying on top of it, if you will.
And then my deep point that I definitely want to drive home, if you have a product that is inherently transformational, or that's the goal for it to be, is to create like, there's no customer journeys in every product, but like with us, we're like really helping people change their habits in their life. If you can get customers to be in shared space and to witness other people's NSVs, like that's where culture is. It's the sharing of like our individual ideas in like a collective room and space that then can information in memes and concepts can be passed down. Like our customers are what drives this NSV thing to our new customers, our next generation. Like that's culture. And that actually has a self-perpetual thing beyond our just effort. Like we're not working hard anymore to help people become aware of how our product is affecting them at their deep core values. It's just like the mix of the community and the program, obviously tactical stuff that we put in there, but it's deeper. And I think this culture thing, now we're getting into a little like more tribal stuff. And I think that's like a deeper level of connected marketing that's possible if you're a community driven business. You got to name things, give them cool names. You got to run people through like a shared experience and have them start using that language. You're doing a transmission of language so that people can make it their own and then share it. And then other people come in and it's just like, oh, this is how it is. It's like become a middle schooler and you go into high school. You're just like, oh, this is how it is. Like this is the pecking order. This is how it works.
And then they're celebrating with each other, but then they're looking for the victories in their own journey as well.
They see themselves in a particular, they see the whole customer journey ahead of time because they see the person that's already there and they know they're here. And that helps them actually like when they get there to become wowed and to like turn around and want to look over the shoulder and to help the next person. So, I mean, it's because we're so transformational with weight loss that I think this becomes a very key important to what we do, but I think there's something here for every business that they can incorporate.
And I imagine with your marketing channels, right? I imagine customer success is one of the key things, right? Sure. Not even necessarily just you pushing their UGC or their stories, but them going and telling other people, like them building community that way. What are some other, key marketing drivers that have been good to get people in the door and to kind of keep them as well?
Yeah. I mean, so as I said, we originally based it off of we still do a lot of articles, content, SEO. We've written over 1,000 articles and man, it's like a tough game. Like, it's like what works. This is the thing about marketing is you have to have so much persistence because you never crack the code fully because there's always updates. There's always new stuff. We've been crushing it on SEO. Then there's health updates and things go up and down. We put a lot of time and intentionality into writing great articles. YouTube, we across the two companies, we almost have 1 million subscribers on our channels. And so we're pushing hard on that because video content in the health space is everything. And funny enough, the reason we actually started YouTube channels is not because we want to grow like a huge YouTube channel. We just knew the algorithm back in the day for Google search was like time on page was like a huge thing. And so we're like, hey, we should put videos on all of our blogs. So we shot like hundreds of videos and then uploaded them, and we got some traction on a lot of those. And now we're here. So we're going deep on YouTube because it's kind of like a new way, a new search engine. It's almost like the new search engine. And obviously it plays really well with all Google's platforms naturally, but that's like really big for us. We're okay at social media. We don't like necessarily like crush it. And I'm considering social more like just really organic, good Instagram and Facebook. Like we're regular. I think we like focus on being as consistent as possible and putting out good stuff and iterating and always becoming better. But like, I'm not an expert on like how to absolutely crush it on social. And there's plenty of people in fitness that totally do. We have a podcast that we do well. We like, our team is really good at rhythms. Like we know that there's like a bunch of different buckets that we can play in. And we know that we're not going to be A+ in all of them. Naturally, some stuff will pop off and work really well, like YouTube. Like I'm good on video. I produce a lot of good video content, so that works well. But we are good at like getting like B+, A-, and that just means like good enough. I'm not trying like just good enough stuff and being super consistent over a long period of time. And then we've spent millions and millions of dollars on ads. And like that is honestly like and that's mostly Facebook and Google, like Google, YouTube, search, display. And that's a tough thing to do in our space because like Facebook doesn't really allow you to use before and afters very much. And that's a tough thing if you're in a fitness space.
Yeah.
And they're kind of hard on that, but we do a lot of advertising. And then we do, now that we're at a critical mass enough, we do get a lot of referrals. But I'm looking now to actually move not out of digital marketing. Digital marketing is foundational, but find really cool and creative ways to like reach more people like in the like offline peer-to-peer space. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for that we're exploring.
Yeah, I've actually seen, no affiliation to them, but I've seen Postpilot. A lot of D2C brands are talking about using them. They're a direct mail D2C company that people are going towards. So it's pretty cool there. Are you seeing any good results with YouTube Shorts?
Yeah, for sure. And this is one thing what we're doing because like everyone's like, if you're in marketing and you have a company, you're being consistent, like you have a concept of a content calendar, you have some regularity, you have some processes in putting out regular content. One thing that's working really well for us, both in terms of like joy, is like repurposing content. Because just think about like, especially as YouTube Shorts, we've shot, let's say we have 500 videos. Like there are probably thousands of really, really good shorts in each of those videos. And so getting your team to have an internal process of like getting those shorts out and processed and posted has been massive for us because the hard thing about like a video is you post it, it maybe does well, it maybe doesn't, but otherwise it's just sitting there. And it's just like so much gold that could continue to be extracted from your previous stuff. And we do shoot a lot of recent shorts, but huge fan of shorts because they play well on cross platforms. So you can make one, that's why everything like, okay, so we record a podcast episode, for example, we're obviously taking shorts from that, and that's going on Instagram. It's going on Facebook. It's going on YouTube. YouTube Shorts is going well for us, but I'll say this, YouTube long form is actually probably a little more valuable for us. And you shoot 50 videos, 2 to 3 of them are just going to hit. Something like and that's what you just got to know. It's just part of the game is like a couple things will go viral. And like we had a couple of videos go viral earlier this year, and viral is like over 1 million views in a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And you don't even expect it. You can't predict it. It's like, it's good, but I've also shot other stuff that I would have like liked better, but it just like all hits. And I think that's like where you're just rewarded over time, where you just get these natural big pulses of inflow if you're consistent, and you can't always predict it.
Yeah. So do you play like the YouTube SEO game at all? Like, are you looking for like what things are being searched, or do you just kind of focus on like content, the groups?
That video, the like couple of the videos that went viral recently have been not like search keyword term specific. Really? We just shot like good stuff, but the whole strategy for 4 or 5 years was using YouTube search tools and analytics, looking for keyword opportunities, shooting keyword specific videos. And like, I am so grateful that we did that because we have all these videos out there now, and some of them rank very well and they're all over the place, and it's like a web. And with YouTube, it's cool because the algorithm like can really get people to go deep on the rabbit hole of your channel. Like if someone's watching your stuff and gets high engagement, YouTube's going to feed them. And like, I don't think there's a better and faster way to get know, like, and trust than having someone go down the YouTube binge rabbit hole, get to listen to my voice for 4 or 5, 10-minute videos. Like that's insane. And like, and they're eventually, we're doing like subtle, plugs and drops to our free stuff and to our programs, and it's building brand awareness, and that works well for us.
100%. And I know you said you're looking at new opportunities like going offline, right? So things, maybe direct mail or something like that.
Yeah.
Are there any other big like marketing opportunities or challenges that you're seeing for the brand right now?
Well, I want to say we're not doing as good of a job, and I think many businesses can probably agree with this as well, of using our passionate customer base to proactively refer us more business. There's like, we've tried setting people up as Keep Infusionsoft affiliates with like complicated web codes, and like that works for people who are business marketing savvy, but not for like the average customer. And so we're playing around with like some crazy ideas, like, like how churches grow back in the day. They would have like the pocket Bible or the little thing, and people would like hand those kind of out. There's a concept there with like actually physical stuff, whether it is a QR code to something or like something, but giving out, like allowing our good customers to give out our principles to people in like a non-threatening way, because they want to share, because it transformed their lives and they want their friends and family to come along. So looking at a way that we can actually do offline physical exchange. So maybe like one-page papers with a golden ticket to get free subscriptions to our things, but empowering our customers to share more in the offline way, not just like a casual talk, but like here is a little more of a formulaic thing and way of doing that. I'm also in the process of finally writing like a book that I want to do, like a proper book, and it takes a lot to get ready to actually do that. Like I've had lots of starts and stops, but we're finally ready, and it's a year-long project to like really do it right and get it ready, at least for me, with everything I have going on. But I know that's going to be a big deal in time when I have like a body of work that I can transmit to people in a physical sense, and also travel and speak more for the brand. Me as like in the position I am in now as like, founder, but I'm a little more now out of the weeds and more just like a front man, vision caster. So getting out and speaking and being in shared space with people is going to become increasingly more important. So doing more speaking to specific audiences, some stages and stuff. I stopped doing that for many years because I was really focused on digital, but bringing that back.
I love that. Are you working with someone who like helps guide writing the book, or are you taking that on all yourself? Or
right now I'm in the stage. I have one of my close friends who actually runs our podcast, has written like 5 or 6 books. So he's kind of like, he's guiding me, and I think he's like kind of casually one of my close friends. So he's being a coach. But right now with the, like in terms of the timing, the app build and getting some of these things transition over, because we're thinking like our big promotional time is January. We're recording this, I don't know when it's going to be live, but it's going to basically September. So we have a lot of things to do with our pricing, our sales pages, our app, to get like ready for a very clean and awesome New Year's resolution season. And the book will come when it comes. It's not going to be ready by January. So I got a couple carts in front of certain horses.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, it sounds like there's a lot of positive things happening. You all have done very good at community building and, building an opportunity for people to change their life. And it sounds like you have a great marketing engine behind it as well. If you had to summarize everything that we talked about today into a marketing mindset, what mindset should marketers or business owners have? Based off of what we talked about. So
obviously, like we're in the stage that every time you want someone to buy something online, like they have to connect with you. There has to be the some amount of awareness, interest, and then trust and all of that. And so content marketing is probably the most authentic and sustainable way to do that. There's so many companies in our space in weight loss that have crushed it with like one channel, paid channels that work for some time and then dry up. Like content marketing is like, I believe it's kind of like planting seeds for trees that will grow over time. And it's like a patient thing, but like when those trees start to grow, they produce fruit for a long time, and that's nourishment for your company. And I think it's important for every company to find the 1 or 2 content marketing channels that they can really double down on, that they have someone in the company who can really drive, who has skills and competency, and they can become more excellent at, because the quality of the content is what rises above the overall noise. Like some people just produce way better content, way better ideas, way better production value. So find your 1 or 2 engines that both resonate with your market and that you guys can double down on and go deep into that. I'd say then to keep in the simple focus, like integrate all of your systems around that key focus point. So you're good at producing short form video, then your email campaigns and your ads and your socials all like kind of drives and feeds into that amount of focus to help you like get a lot of traction. And then everything that comes from like point of purchase into the back end is all about the customer journey. You really need to understand your avatar, their pain points, and where they're moving through. And if you really keep it, like obviously it's important to think about what kind of products you could sell and how that plays into LTV. But if all that's deeply informed by true care for your avatar, understanding their different phases, people can feel that. And that's how you have customers that stick around. And what we're learning is customer acquisition obviously essential for every business. But if you have a recurring subscription product and you have retention in the game, like that's where all the real money is. And it's so much easier to retain a customer who already made the decision to say yes to you. And if they can be on subscription, businesses are going to crush it in the future. If you don't have a subscription element of your business, like it's way harder. And I know this is a little thing that goes into that, but yeah, I don't know if that was like a cohesive concept, but we really focus on the main content marketing channels. And then obviously the customer journey and being good to people. And if you can get them in community too and add that cultural component, you got something solid.
I love it. And this next one's my favorite question. For anyone listening that is in the stage of figuring out what they'd like to do in the marketing industry, what role or marketing roles do you think will have the highest demand or opportunity in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I think for every business, at least in terms of how we're buying is becoming more of like a mobile experience, but it's all happening through like high converting sales pages. And this is one answer, but like ultimately the things are still happening on product and sales pages, which means there's like compelling copy that's there. And then being brought together, the people that can bring together design, web, and copy and can integrate that and can also peg data to that and like actually create conversions is so good. Like that's that integrative, like the marketer of the future that gets paid is one that can actually like bring it all together, particularly around things that are related to purchase and monetization. So like right now, AI is like kind of like crazy and people are playing around with that for copy production. It's probably going to be big into video and all that stuff's like kind of disrupting the marketing industry in a big way because like words and messages are going to be able to be produced very quickly. But the person who can like integrate all that and like get the web actually done, so understands like design or how to use a specific platform for that, so that you can go from like idea of initiative we want to do to we actually have something that we're emailing out to people or texting out to people within 30 days. And so you can have quicker like actual testing and marketing is going to be essential. Because I know there's so many businesses that have ideas, like a million things they think they should do, but aren't really good at having like integrators or people that can get traction and test things. Because things you think are going to work don't always work. And your ability to like continuously create more sales and offer pages on that is massive.
Yeah, I agree. And I know there's been a big push. CRO is something that's popular, conversion rate optimization, which is what you normally hear. But there's an agency we work with and others that are moving to CVO, which is conversion value optimization, and focusing on not just increasing the conversion rate, but AOV as well, and a couple of other key metrics with it. So, and tell us, where can listeners connect with you, learn more about yourself, your business, and keep up with your content?
Yeah, so Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project are the two companies that I run. They could be found at fitfatherproject.com or fitmotherproject.com. And obviously I mentioned our YouTube as well, which would be a cool thing for you to check out if you want to see some of our videos that rank well, how we do some things on YouTube. Like our YouTube channels for Fit Father Project or Fit Mother Project are great. And if you're actually someone who's legitimately both a marketer and wants to have a way to like get healthy, then like check our stuff out because it's great for like busy people, and many marketers are over 40. So we understand you and what you're going for. And then the final little tidbit I'll say is I think as it relates to CVO, I think it's really important to have a great one-click upsell for many businesses or something like that. Whatever you can get to work in terms of your initial core offer purchase. If you can get something that converts from 20 to 40% on an upsell that has a high profit margin, that's going to give you so much breathing room for your business, especially if you feel like it's pretty tight on the front end. So I think we built our business off some of those one-click offers and stuff like that in the cart experience checkout. So I know it's kind of random, but I want to say that I think it's important.
I love it. And are you on Twitter, LinkedIn, anywhere personal posting
content? Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I mean, I don't actually check that, but like if someone's a marketer listening to this, like Anthony at Fit Father Project is my actual email that goes to me and my assistant. You can message me. I'm doing a good job of like not working personally on my social media, but working on the company. So I kind of stay off a lot of those personal profiles, but Anthony at Fit Father Project, you can get a hold of me.
Cool. Anthony, well, I appreciate you coming on, sharing all this knowledge. Love to hear the growth in the business, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Colby.